Sasha Johnson, also known as SashaX, who is a member of the Not Fucking Around Coalition, NFACUK chapter, was critically wounded in London during the early morning hours of Sunday the 23rd of May 2021. After having received several death threats from anti-black racists regarding her activism work to improve conditions for the black community both locally and abroad. We wish our sister a complete and speedy recovery. The NFAC would like to thank, acknowledge, and express appreciation for the life's work of Sister SashaX. Sasha's focus has always been on fighting against injustices and for the betterment of humanity, using various means from activism to political solutions to ultimately reach positive ends. She stands at the forefront of the fight against the unjust arrest and removal of the First and Second Amendment rights of NFAC Supreme Commander Grandmaster Jay in the United States, and can be seen in the following video clip, leading the campaign to free Grandmaster Jay outside the US Embassy in London, demanding the US government drop what are believed to be unfair and possibly racially motivated charges against him.
Well, so is any chance? So yeah, is any chance that we can, if we show you the letter, you understand what we?
We're here on behalf of the NFAC. We're here. Are you going to listen then? We're here on behalf of the NFAC and Grandmaster Jay. And yes, right now you've not got an ambassador, but if you continue, we're not going to wait a whole bloody month for you to get one. This protest is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And your guns don't scare no one, so it's just going to get bigger. It's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
All right. So you.
Sasha also boldly championed several other calls for fairness locally and abroad, such as demanding justice in cases like those of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor in the US.
That is what they see the black man has. They see our skin as a weapon before we've even committed a crime. Let me tell you this, as black people, we have not got a history of inflicting violence against any other people. White people have got a history of inflicting violence against us. Grandmaster Jay took a stand for Breonna Taylor. He took a stand for Trayvon Martin. He took a stand for all of those, Tamar Rice, for all of those that we lost, for Aubrey. We took a stand against that brutality. The brutality that meant that a police officer could kneel on a black man's neck for over 8 minutes. For over 8 minutes. And it go around like porn on the telly. We get to see that. We've seen time and time again they've lynched our leaders. They've shot them down. We've seen African leaders shooting our own people. It's about time as black people we take a stand against this colonial system. A system that keeps coming to preserve white supremacy. A system that keeps miseducating our children. That we are standing and saying enough is enough. As black community, we put our foot down. We don't give a shit about your pandemic.
In addition to serving as a member of the NFAC in the United Kingdom, Sasha had served as a representative of the new Black Panther Party for Self-Defense UK, and is also a founding member of the Taking the Initiative Party TTIP, which is the first ever black-led political party in Britain. TTIP has successfully addressed many issues facing black people both locally and internationally, with campaigns and initiatives such as the following. TTIP calls for an investigation into missing black children in the UK. SashaX has been an amazing leader with her political party at the forefront, doing important work against racism, violence, and crimes against humanity locally and abroad, such as investigating why there are so many missing black children in Britain. Her party has been attempting to locate the missing as well as help victims and their families to try and get justice. TTIP stands against the unrest in Palestine, spearheading a campaign of solidarity with black Palestinians who suffer under the oppressive weight they face due to the ongoing colonization of their ancestral homeland, whilst attempting to stop the BBC spreading what many deem to be misleading or confusing information about the situation. TTIP campaigned to get out the vote, helping to elect better local leaders by hosting Get Out the Vote initiatives in support of local politicians who share Sasha and her party's political values, and creating new community leaders by incentivizing the general public to get involved and take action where they live. The following is a reading of the official statement given by TTIP political party leadership in regards to the shooting which had critically wounded its founding member, SashaX, in its entirety, as posted on the party's Facebook page. As of the 24th of May. Following our announcement on social media yesterday regarding the shocking news on the attempted murder of Sasha Johnson, we would like to put forward an update and a statement on the situation. Sasha is currently in critical care and has recently undergone an operation and is in recovery post-surgery. We do not have any further information in relation to her recovery and or if there is any permanent damage. We can also confirm that the incident involving Sasha is the same incident that was reported by news outlets on the shooting of a woman in Southwark. We are appreciative of the kind messages and supportive words sent to Sasha and our team and pray that Sasha will make a full recovery. Sasha has been passionately fighting for people and for equality for a long time, and now, she is fighting for her life. Whilst we are overwhelmed by the love and support for Sasha, we are also deeply saddened and disgusted by the negative press that has infested from this active hate. Since the incident, we have been receiving emails and social media messages celebrating Sasha's attack, messages wishing she dies, calling her a racist and wishing better luck to the shooter next time for not killing her, and so on. Some of these comments have been attached below for your reference. The irony is the fact that police have stated there is no clear evidence that Sasha was the target of the attack, and that there is no credible death threat made toward her. However, how have the police come to this conclusion without being able to speak with Sasha regarding the death threats and investigate? Do the police know who the target of the attack was in order to conclude that Sasha was not? How does one manage to shoot someone in the head accidentally? Sure, to end up in hospital having sustained a bullet shot to the head makes a death threat more credible. We need to highlight the issue here in the narrative and the corruption of the system, whereby an individual gets shot in the head yet continues to receive abuse and even gets blamed for being the victim of a targeted hate crime. We are disgusted by the way that this narrative has been portrayed as a black-on-black crime and a gang crime, not acknowledging that this is a hate crime or a targeted attack at worst. This was due to the statement made earlier today on the BBC, by Nathan reporting an update on the incident that was factually incorrect. We would like to clarify that this individual is not a friend of Sasha's, despite claiming to be, and has no authority to give a statement on the incident. Charles Gordon, one of Taking the Initiative Party TTIP founding members, says, "We are deeply concerned about the attack on our sister. She is a pillar of our community. We have had calls from various activists and leaders within the community, worried about whether the next attack could be on them. I have even been contacted by various officials asking us TTIP not to acknowledge that this is a targeted attack. I would like to say that we need to stay cautious and aware. The truth is that we don't know what happened here, but we do know that an attack on one is an attack on all. We need to remain vigilant. As I explained to other activists, pretending that the problem doesn't exist does not make it any less real. We need to remain vocal in the quest for a change and remember that democracy is not our silence, but is the voice that we have fought for." We would also like to clarify that the account currently circulating racist tweets at Sasha Johnson BLM is a fake Twitter account, not created by Sasha. Created to persecute her in yet another attack, and that the tweets posted are not reflective of Sasha nor Taking the Initiative Party's beliefs. We are, and will remain in full support of Sasha throughout and after her recovery, and will be working to ensure that this crime is investigated thoroughly and accurately, and that the criminal is brought to justice. Whilst we understand there is much speculation around the nature of the incident, our priority is Sasha's health and recovery. We will release further information at the appropriate time. However, for now, we would like to reiterate that we will not be silenced. We are now only more determined to make Sasha's voice and our voice heard. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. Gandhi. We request that if anyone witnessed the incident and or has any further information that may assist, to please get in contact. We would also like to thank everyone for their kind words and well wishes and ask that everyone keeps Sasha and her family in their thoughts and prayers. TTIP team. Yet, despite the clear evidence that many people had wished harm to Sasha for her political work and pro-black humanitarian activism, a member of parliament named Claudia Webb, in a statement to news organizations, has chosen to blame the shooting on a culture of gun violence, despite the fact that it is extremely difficult to get guns even illegally in that country. There are barely any guns in the whole of Britain because it has some of the strictest anti-gun laws anywhere in the world. It is as if the statement was meant for an American audience, since Brits well know that virtually only officials have guns there, while most street crime is done using a knife. And here is another official government statement from Met Police blaming the shooting on black men wearing dark clothing, according to unnamed witnesses, and reiterating the position that they do not acknowledge that Sasha may have been the victim of a targeted attack.
This was a shocking incident that has left a young woman with very serious injuries. Our thoughts are with the family of Sasha Johnson, who are being supported by specially trained officers. We have a team of detectives who are working tirelessly to identify who is responsible for this shooting. They're making good progress, but we need members of the public to come forward and help us. From our inquiry so far, we have established that Sasha had been at a party at a house on Consort Road in Peckham, early hours of Sunday morning. Around 3 a.m, a group of 4 black men dressed in dark clothing entered the garden of the property and discharged a firearm, and they left before police arrived. We are aware of Sasha's involvement in the Black Lives Matter movement in the UK, and I understand the concern that this will cause some communities. However, at this time we have no information that indicates that Sasha was the victim of a targeted attack. We are also not aware of any reports of threats made against her prior to this incident. I want to take this opportunity to reassure you that we're doing everything possible to identify those responsible for this incident and to bring them to justice. Tackling violent crime on the streets of London is one of Met's top priorities, and the people of London have a vital role to play in that. If you have any information about the events of Sunday morning, we need you to contact police immediately by calling 101. You can also report information anonymously to Crime Stoppers.
While CNN and other news outlets accurately quoted police as stating their position that there is no evidence to suggest a targeted attack and that Sasha had not received any credible threats against her prior to this incident. It is unclear to us exactly what London police may deem to be a credible threat, but the following images are screenshots of some of the actual threats shared by the TTIP political party, which Sasha is a founding member of, on Facebook, so that the people can judge for themselves. Finally, this is a statement from fellow NFACUK member NFACUK, who serves alongside Sasha. Like the statement given by the TTIP, his statement appears to contradict the official position of police and a member of parliament that there was no reason to believe Sasha may have been the victim of a targeted crime against her. So exactly what's really going on here? You be the judge.
Now I'm standing before you to let you know our beloved queen, SashaX, she's still fighting, and they failed. I've received a phone call, several phone call, private number, telling me that I'm next on the list. I can hear is a grown man's voice telling me I'm next on the list. So that is why, brothers and sisters, we had to stand in that hospital. We have to be there 24/7 to protect our sister. But I'm here to tell you, brothers and sisters, as you've noticed, the work that I've been doing all over the world, working with the school, working with orphanage, helping my brothers and sisters in Africa, working with the brothers in the United States, lived in Portugal, spent a lot of time in the United States, UK, travel all over the world. You know what I've been doing. I've never committed any crime. I've never involved in any gangs. I've never robbed nobody. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. So I'm here to tell you, if anything happened with Alpha Quabo, if anything happened with Alpha Quabo here in the UK, we all know who's to blame, because they're afraid of us. And that I'm here to tell you clear, the police department here in the UK, they're afraid of us. They're afraid to see a black man and black women stand together. They're afraid of us because we are challenging politically. We are putting boots on the ground. That is why they're afraid of. So that's why that is X. All eyes, SashaX. Don't believe in these lies. Don't believe what they're telling you in this newspaper, in this BBC. Let us stand up for SashaX because she was about boots on the ground. We got brothers over there watching out, sleeping over there day and night. Because all eyes is on SashaX. Make no mistake about it. So that is why I'm sending this message to you, brothers and sisters. Shit is crazy. We haven't done anything wrong. All we did is just fighting for our rights, minding our own business. Remember, we must need to stand for Sasha. She's a queen. She is a queen, a real African queen that stood up with the family. So the least we can do is to show some love, support her financially and spiritually. That's what she needs right now. Saying your energy, your prayer, let us stand together with Sasha because they failed. They tried, but they failed. And she's still there fighting. Who's behind this? That's what you have to ask yourself. Who's behind this? At least I'm making it clear before the world just so everybody know what's going on here in the UK. So drop all the charges in the United States against our Supreme Commander. Stop cowering yourself up. Show up if you're a man. Act like a man. Stop acting like a coward. Send somebody that look like us to do your dirty job. Why won't you show up yourself? I'm challenging you. Why won't you show up yourself? And if you out there trying to think you can threaten me, call me, show up. You're not going to intimidate with your private phone call. Show up. I've seen the phone call, and then I can clearly hear the voice of an old man say, "You're next. You're next." So that is why I came before you to let you know. Because I'm not involved in any stupid shit. Because I know the game they're playing. We will keep you updating. But don't you believe on anything this media telling you. They're liars. Total liars. Be out there talking about our sisters, a gang. She was related to a gang members. Gang. Alpha Quabo. Spiritual son of Queen Zinga. Share this message and let everybody know what is happening here in the UK. They're trying to lie. So, we out.
Update. As of the 27th of March, 2021, it is reported that Sasha has successfully come out of surgery and is now in stable condition. We ask for the public's continued support and prayers.